Welcome to Inside with Outsiders. My name is Jeremy Asgari, and today's guest is Andrew Valdez, a fairly new member to the Outsiders team and a longtime friend, I think 9-year friend of mine.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, thank you for being part of the show.
Dude, thanks for having me.
And also,
sick.
Thank you for contributing to the new direction our show is going.
Yeah, it's certainly a cool project. I mean, because you have such interesting people around you, and I think the worlds that you're in are also quite interesting. Like just the bridge, the way that you're able to bridge that. So I think it's a story worth telling.
Agree, and so is yours. Because you're not a New Yorker.
No.
Andrew's originally from New Mexico, and I mean I think that makes for an interesting childhood. So let's hear about it. I want to know what you've done in your life that's gotten you to where you are right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, New Mexico isn't. I don't have to thank it for much, honestly. It's a beautiful place, but when I was growing up, I hated it.
Really? What did you hate about it?
There's just nothing to do, and the people that I was surrounded by, it's basically like the whole town of Albuquerque is the hood. Like, I mean, you have the heights closer to the mountains. That's where the whites live. But other than that, it's even people who are wealthy there would be like lower class New Yorkers, right?
Right. And that's the same for most cities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just growing up and just seeing we have like an entire page in our newspaper dedicated to like DUIs from the night before.
Really?
Yeah, and but then you have like a government that like gives these tax breaks for people to open breweries and bars, and it's just a backwards place. Like, not a lot about what they do makes sense. So I kind of knew that if I was going to go anywhere, I needed to leave first.
Did you know then that it didn't make sense? Because that's all you knew.
Yeah, I knew then. I knew that I wanted to get out.
Yeah.
But I think what I learned through time, because now I love New Mexico. I learned that like the whole time I was just running away. You know what I mean? Like you try to, you have this vision for your life and who you want to be.
Yeah. And
you go after and chase your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not careful with chasing your dreams, you're just running away from who you are.
That's profound. We got pretty deep so far, and I'm not being sarcastic. When did you realize that you needed some sort of strategy to achieve your dreams instead of just running? I mean, maybe that's what you're referring to?
Yeah, I think it was my parents. Both of them didn't go to college. My dad, a rough dude.
Really? Explain.
A good guy, but so everyone, like, my mom always calls my dad like the mayor of Browntown.
Mayor of Browntown. And Browntown is?
I don't know.
Oh.
I think it's like an old people saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that they just fucking say. But he just knows everyone.
Okay.
And everyone that he like runs into around town, like we'd be out to dinner and people would come up to the table and like shake his hand and say, "Oh, thank you so much for this, that, and the third." And like really helpful guy, you know?
But what is it exactly that he does that enables him to help people out?
He's just really personable. He's well connected. And I think the thing that like my big lesson from him was to like kind of do the opposite. Like that's literally what he told me. He's like, do everything the opposite of me.
Really?
Yeah.
He verbatim said this.
Yeah. So he knew that, the trajectory of his life, like the way that he decided to live, wasn't for everyone, right?
Right.
He's like he was a national champion judo fighter. He fought in the streets all the time.
Okay.
Didn't give a shit about who you were, whether you were like, you had to be a man. That's number one.
Okay.
You had to be a man to get it. But like if you were in any sort of position of authority, cop, anyone, like
really
could get it. Yeah.
So your dad's done time?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit. Nothing. No prison or anything like that. Just jail.
I feel like you're quite the opposite of what you're describing your dad as.
Yeah, I've been in some fights before. I'm 3-2, so.
3-2, really? You got in fights? Explain.
Yeah.
These are pivotal moments in a. I mean,
yeah.
You were a kid, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I was a kid.
Have you ever fought as an adult?
No.
Okay.
Last time I fought, I dislocated my shoulder. Yeah, I just fell wrong and dislocated it.
How old were you then?
I was 17, 16. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I always fought up until that fight. That fight was purely out of pride. Like
Yeah.
I got sucker punched in the library, and I was like, "All right, bet, meet me after school," type of
Yeah.
thing. And then we just like went to this park. Everyone showed up, like the whole school, because
Yeah.
I was like not a fighter, you know.
Really?
So everyone was just like interested, like, what the fuck, Andrew's fighting. So like a shitload of people came. I think the cops came, but I
To
wasn't there
watch?
long enough.
It's like a title fight?
Yeah, like afterwards they heard like because
Yeah.
there was like a ton of commotion at the park and stuff. But yeah, lost the fight, dislocated my shoulder, had to go to like the ER that night to like pop it back into place, and since then like I've dislocated my shoulder
Yeah.
hundreds of times.
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
You pop it in yourself?
Yeah, I pop into myself now.
Okay. So, I mean, that's very out of character from the Andrew I know.
Yeah.
So what changed from your fighting days to adulthood?
Well, I think that fight specifically like humbled me in a sense because I was just doing it just to like for my own pride.
Yeah.
Whereas the other fights I've been in were fighting for other people that couldn't defend themselves, and I would just step in. I was always a little kid, so it wasn't
Same.
like, you know, I would get put in the trash can, but I'd be talking shit all the way in the
Yeah.
trash can, you know?
I was never put in a trash can, but I was tiny. I'm not being sorry. I was really small until I was 18.
Yeah.
So I remember, but I would do really crazy shit. I remember I set the senior linebacker's sock on fire on the bus, accidentally, right? And then I pretend like I did it on purpose so I can seem like a tough guy. And he grabbed my shoe and ate my shoelace. And then after that, the next day, my brother and I were walking to a class, and him and his linebacker friends pick us up on the shoulders and start screaming, "Get out of the way, Jeremy's coming through." So I won their respect by almost burning the man to death.
Yeah, what the heck? Like, so you lit his sock on fire while he was wearing it?
Yes, we were on a bus, and he had a lighter, and I was like, "Let me see that," and I was like pretending like I was gonna light it on, like as a joke, and it actually caught on fire.
Yeah, caught on fire, yeah.
And he got mad, but not really mad and laughed. But they grabbed my shoe, and I like squirmed out, right, trying to get away. And then he like bit my shoelace in half. So then I had to walk home with him like a no shoelace in one
That's
shoe.
a weird response too, to bite
Yeah,
a
and
shoelace in
I
half.
think he didn't know what to do because like I lit a sock on fire, so he couldn't go too crazy because I might go even crazier.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't have because I was an accident.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite the interesting.
Yeah,
tale.
yeah. My other fight that I like have that I still really remember was it also involved a shoe.
Yeah.
This kid threw a rock, hit my friend in the back of the head. He started bleeding, and then I just like went up to the kid. I just didn't even ask questions. I just like, he knew I was gonna fight. Like he knew I was
Yeah.
attacking him. He didn't defend himself, and I just clocked him.
And what happened to him?
He got knocked out. And
You
then
knocked him out?
Yeah, I knocked him out, and then I grabbed his shoe and I threw it in the desert, his shoes, so that way, because it was during gym class, so I was like, fucking walk back in the desert, yeah.
Yeah. What was your social circle like back then? Like who were you identifying with as a kid?
Pretty much no one, man. I
Really?
was a loner.
Really?
I was like the class clown.
Yeah.
Because it was the most comfortable way for me to connect with people. You know?
Humor, of course.
Yeah, humor. Because I knew I could serve that purpose there without letting them know who I was.
Right. Oh, like the real you.
Yeah, the real me.
So yeah, your shield was humor.
Yeah.
When did have you ever since then found your people? Found where you sense of belonging?
Yeah, I think I think you really can't find your people until you know who you are, and so I didn't really know who I was until I moved to New York, and even then I didn't really know.
Yeah.
I was still figuring it out, but I mean, like I said, I was constantly running away from things.
Yeah.
Like I was running away from New Mexico, and then after I graduated school, I was running away from like California and that life that I had there, and like drinking so much, and you know, all that sort of shit. And then I came out here thinking, you know, chasing my dreams, and realized that I was still running away from things. And it wasn't until I met, you know, an old friend of mine. We haven't spoken in a long time. That I realized that that's exactly what I was doing, because he faced me with something that I couldn't run from. I had to do it.
What was it?
To do stand-up.
Really?
Yeah, he said because we were up hanging out one night, and he's a comedian, and we were just joking around, laughing with our friends and stuff like that, and I was making some people laugh, and then he just said, "You talking bits, like comedy bits."
Yeah, right.
And I was like, "All right," and he was like, "If you don't try stand up, you're a bitch."
Oh, so your pride kicked in again.
And then the pride kicked in.
You hadn't learned your lesson. Okay,
right.
Go ahead.
But then I went on stage, and I wrote a set. Took me about like a week to write. Had 5 minutes. Went up there and just fucking ate shit.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Okay.
But I still wanted to do it afterwards. I knew I could make it better. And so then I realized that I'm not going to be good at this thing for a long time, but I still love to do it.
Right.
So this must be me. Comedy must really be something for me that's not something to mask or protect myself from others.
Yeah.
It's something that I actually can connect with other people with and lighten tension.
It's interesting because a lot of comedians are dark individuals. You consider yourself, I've known you for a long time, but it wasn't until I say July that we started really getting to know each other better.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing a side of you, obviously, I didn't see before because I didn't know you before. So you're very dynamic. Definitely see a dark side, of course.
Yeah.
Like most comedians have. Yeah, man, I've got more insight on you. I don't have all the data either, though, because I'm just starting to get to know you now.
Yeah, that darkness is definitely there.
Yeah. I mean, learning about, what your dad went through and so on, and obviously that affects a kid, right? So I'm understanding, I'm seeing the pathway now for sure.
Yeah, a lot of violence, a lot of anger, a lot of kicking the can down the road in terms of emotional problems. So.
How'd you deal with it back then? I mean, you said you were running, but you're stuck in New Mexico. What were you doing?
Sports.
What were your sports?
Baseball and basketball. Yeah.
Basketball, really?
So I would just play nonstop, and I'd practice every single day, and then I'd come home and I'd work on homework, and about 8, 9 o'clock I'd be exhausted because my parents would take me to school, but they both worked. And so they both had to go in my dad had to go in at 6 to open up the parts department. That's what he used to do. And then when my mom would take me, I would have to be up so she could be at work by 7:30. So, I literally would just wake up, go to school, go to practice, come home, do homework, sleep. So there was no real time to kind of process.
Yeah. So I have a pretty clear version of your high school. Where'd you go to college? What did you study? What was your thoughts about college?
I went to Cal Baptist University. It's a private Christian college.
Why did you choose that?
So it's funny, Mike. I was visiting there. I can't even remember why I was visiting the school, but I learned about their business program. They had some like pretty reputable teachers like that had businesses.
Yeah.
And so I researched them, found them on like it wasn't LinkedIn at the time, but like found like their professional like pages, articles written about them and stuff like that. And then their class sizes were really small. And so I knew that like my biggest thing that I wanted out of college was like a very small, I guess, community in a sense where I can like really network.
Yeah.
And like have a relationship with my professors. And so that's why I chose that school.
So you studied business?
Yeah.
Okay. So after college, I know you went running to New York.
Yeah.
What was your intention there? What was your dream at the time? What was your goal?
Dude, that was actually, not so much me running, but more so like, I was still in that mindset, I think, but I literally just came out here because my sister had her third kid.
Okay.
And so I was coming to help with that because I'm the youngest of my cousins. I have a lot of cousins, and my sister's 11 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
So, and like most of my cousins are 11, 12, up to 16 years older.
Yeah.
So I was the baby. So when they started having kids, I started taking care of their kids with my grandmother. Yeah. So that's where I learned like early on how to kind of cook, change diapers, deal with kids.
Have you shared your experience with your sister growing up? I mean, obviously she must have had a similar experience.
No, totally different. She had it worse off than me. So she's my half sister technically, different moms. Her upbringing was just a lot rougher. She was taken away from my dad, lost that battle in court. Didn't have the best relationship with her mom. Won't get into like specifics or anything like that, but so we weren't close until like I think the first time I remember like actually properly hanging out was when she was taking my like senior pictures for high school.
Oh wow.
So for the majority of my life, she was just a person who kind of came in, out.
Yeah. Okay, so you get here, you're kind of hanging with your sister. You got a job. What were you doing?
Dude, that was the weirdest job I've ever had. Well, first I started slanging booch because that's what I needed to do out here.
Slanging booch?
Yeah, kombucha.
Okay.
Back then it was brand new. You know Health Aid, like the ones in the store
yes.
with like so they just became a company. So I was like in the Whole Foods like taste testing, talking about the probies in there and all that good stuff.
The probies.
Yeah.
Okay, slanging booch is your term.
Slanging booch, yep.
Yeah. I thought like booch must be code word for drugs, and he was selling drugs.
Nope.
No.
Well, I mean, technically, it's got, some alcohol in it.
Okay.
So I was doing that for a little bit, and then
his bad boy appearance, like his bad boy persona, just completely evaporated.
Yeah.
And now he's slaying kombucha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that booch, that good stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about your bad boy days. Yeah.
After that, I worked at this company that was literally like a cold calling job.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got in there, and I didn't know it was a cold calling job. I thought it was a marketing job because we were going to be talking about like helping small businesses with their Google presence, website SEO, Yelp, like all those sort of things. And I got there the first day, and then they were literally just running us through like a script. And during the break, I was like, "Hey, because it was a week-long training," and I was like, "This is weird. Like, why am I going to do this for a week?" And I was like, "Is there any way like I can just avoid this training? Like, I'm a marketing major. I just graduated from college, but I've been working for like the last 5 years in marketing because I did internships and I worked at nonprofits and all sorts of stuff." And I was like, I think I could talk to these people because these are the exact type of people that I worked with.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, we really like this script and everything like that. And I was like, well, how many sales do you win from this script? And it was like, very low number. Like, and I was like, so why do you want us to do this? It doesn't make any sense. And I was like, tell you what, I was like, I really don't want to do this training. But if you put me on the floor today and I don't make a sale, I'll resign.
Yeah.
And I made 3 sales that day. So.
And what was the average salesman doing back then?
Like maybe a sale a week.
And so did you keep the job?
I did because they were giving 100% commission, and the deals were like $2,000 to $3,000.
What? You closed 3 deals in one day?
Yeah, I fucking was making bank.
How long did you keep that job?
So the reason they were doing that, I realized pretty quickly after, is because they were trying to encourage their salesmen to get their sales numbers up. So they were offering that commission to like incentivize them, and then they were doing it because they were preparing for a buyout. So they were willing to take like the short-term hit of like paying their salesmen more than they would typically to get their sales figures up to sweeten that number.
So how long did you have that job?
2 months.
2 months. How much did you make in 2 months?
Like $30,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad. And what year is this?
This is 2016.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was pretty good.
In my mind, that's not too long ago. It's like 9 years ago.
Yeah. It was it was weird. I had my best friend to this day. That's how I met him. That's how I like got introduced to a lot of my like really close friends now is from one dude.
Really?
Because I came in like that day, he heard about me. So the next day I met him because the first day, obviously, the 3 sales happened. Yeah. Then I was on the floor, and they sat me next to my friend Sergio. And he was playing music the whole time, like just like good hip hop, like that sort of thing. And I was like, I was trying to work, and this dude was clearly not working at all.
Right.
It's like hitting his vape under his shirt and
Yeah.
all sorts of shit. Like, hilarious, man. And so I was like, "Do you take requests?" And he was like, "He's a real New Yorker. I mean, he's from Colombia, but he moved here when he was 6.
Yeah.
So for all intents and purposes." And so New Yorkers, when you ask for the aux, like, you better step up with a good song.
Yeah.
So I think Ferg came out with an album at that time. I can't remember what it was called, but Plain Jane was on the album. So I was like, "You got Plain Jane?" And so he played that, and like the whole office was getting lit. And
Nice.
ever since then, we've been friends.
Very nice. So what did you do after that? And when was this moment that you were told to do stand-up? Was this around the same time?
Yeah, this was in 2016, 2017.
So I want to know what you did next, but I also want to know what the like that transition, that pivot in your life. Want to just do it now? 4 minutes?
Design and that sort of thing. So I worked for like an art market platform. I worked for Warner Media's like marketing arm. So I worked, and then that's when I started getting to like the consulting
Right.
realm, where I was advising companies on their social media strategies, building content, flighting it, advertising. Pretty much, and that's pretty much where my career took me until like at every single job that I worked at, I got canned.
At a certain point to like a very specific place in that job progression.
Yeah, like literally about to get promoted and would get fired because of the fact that I was doing well. And so that I think, if to your question earlier about like what was my life's purpose, that was when it shifted. And that shift I think happened in 2022. So not too long ago, actually.
And if I had to guess, that shift turned into working for yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I got canned from my last employer, and I've never worked for anyone since.
So you're not only are you somewhat of a freelance consultant, but you're also an entrepreneur now.
Yeah.
And how did you come up with this idea for your business? And tell us about your business.
Yeah, so I started this game. It's an ultimate mobile adventure game called Dare City, which is just based on the premise of being daring, which all that means is having the courage to do things.
Yeah.
And I realized that the best moments in my life have come on the other side of fear. And so I realized that this isn't something that's unique to me. Like, in fact, I'm not special. This is for every single person.
Absolutely. And why would you say that is? I mean, for me, that's because I've either conquered, faced it, or realized it wasn't something worth fearing.
Yeah. Like, you're asking why do we have those fears?
Well, for you, like, no, why were those moments of, like, I guess, passing your fears, why was that so unique for you?
I think it was just because it was like just a perspective shift of all that fear could be the same. It's the same feeling as excitement.
Yeah.
Like the only difference is your perspective.
True.
And it's not always the case. Like, there's things that you should be afraid of, but most of if you look into like our psychology as human beings, fear is something that used to keep us alive.
Yeah.
And it doesn't anymore. It holds us back. It keeps us dead, in fact. And with things like social media and just like the internet advancing at rapid rates, that fear is only going to become more and more of a hindrance in our lives, and it's something that's not protecting us anymore.
So how do we change that from something that hinders us to the excitement perspective? Like, how did you make that work for you?
Yeah, so I just started looking at everything in my life as a dare, right? So like my friend who was a comedian that was like dared me to do stand-up, right? That changed I realized that like just by someone else that I respected challenging me, and me meeting that challenge, that great things could happen.
You know, it's an unfortunate Diddy reference, right? But there's a video of Diddy at his desk on the phone talking to MTV about something, and he gets the solution he wanted, And he hangs up the phone, and he hangs it up multiple times. He's like, I can do anything.
Yeah.
Give me something else. What you need me to do?
I'm a savage.
Yeah, I'm a savage, exactly. And again, Diddy reference, so take it the way you want it. But like, I know there's a lot of challenges we're facing with outsiders, right? And some of the stuff, or I might say all of it, is a good challenge, right? It's a good challenge. It's turning a new leaf to see the next step and the next growth for outsiders. And that's the perspective I'm trying to have right now. Because this perspective, like, I'm scared. What if this doesn't work, or this hasn't been working for us? What are we gonna do? As opposed to this hasn't worked for us. What are we gonna do? I'm ready for the challenge. Like and I'm trying to go into this, like all challenges in life with that perspective.
Yeah.
Whether it be business, whether it be personal relationships. I mean, I think that could be an approach you take on in life, and also having the attitude. That attitude is a positive mental attitude, right? And your vibrations are higher because you're anticipating positivity. And if you're going to be nerding out on quantum science, quantum physics like I am recently, like it's important to have those positive thoughts of being able to know like this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, your brain is constantly listening. Like we build our neural pathways constantly.
Yeah.
And so if you're not, the way I saw it is, for me, when I've been at my lowest, it's always been my fault. Like it's always been me not, or avoiding something that I know I should be doing, right? Or making situations worse for myself because I was too afraid to stand up what I believed in, to take the risk that I knew I wanted to take. And it's as simple, like it could be as simple as like dating. Like I remember when in New York, slanging booch, right? I was there in my health aid clothes, which were whack, and I'm wearing this health aid hat, and I just like look like a dork, And then sure enough, like someone comes to my table and she's like in the Philharmonic, and was very attractive, and I was like, I knew then I wanted to ask for a number, but obviously it's not ideal. I'm like serving her, like, oh, this one has cayenne essence, It's like it's not a good intro,
Right.
So, but she walked away. She's like, "Have a good one," and I was like, "You too." And she was very talkative, so I knew she was like interested.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck it," and I just ran after her, and I was like caught her before like she was checking out, and I was like, asked her out and everything like that, and she said yes, and we went out and stuff like that. But it. Whatever. That's just one little instance of something that I feel like a lot of people now are so afraid to do, like rejection.
For sure. I mean, I saw a CNN report, like a clip of it on Instagram, talking about how 85% of men between the age of 18 and 25 have never asked a woman out. Yeah, and I'm like shocked.
Yeah.
I think I was with you when I started a conversation with some girl, and you were like, "Oh, that's good." That's good, yeah. And I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm making that effort."
Yeah.
And I don't know, you like it struck you for some reason.
Yeah, because literally no one does that. No one my age or younger does that.
And it's funny because I've never been the one that comes naturally to, unless there's an organic opening, right?
Yeah.
But I'm making an effort to do so. And the guys that do that all the time, their approach is a numbers game, and that's not appropriate either, in my opinion. So
yeah, it's always, I think it's like with that example in particular, it's just about having like with anything, honestly. If you have a genuine connection to it, then you should do it. Yeah. But if you're just doing it just to like up your numbers, or like to like you're playing the numbers game, just seeing where you could hit, then obviously you're doing it for disingenuous reasons.
But to your point, it's like, again, that transfers over every aspect of your life. Like, for us to have a dream brand partner, for example, right? I can't be afraid to ask. Like, one of my dream brand partners, Nike ACG.
Yeah.
I love that brand.
Yeah.
I would have no problem going up to the person who handles their marketing and telling them I'm a fan. Yeah. Being very honest, being very transparent. I think the key right now in life is being transparent and honest. A lot of non-transparency on social media.
Yeah.
A lot of fake it till you make it. And I think that's the worst approach.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's like the foundation of a dare, really, is you have to be honest with yourself, too. of your limitations, of what you're afraid of, and admitting that you're afraid,
Right.
And to not let that stop you. And so, like, I think it's good that you have that mindset, because it really applies across the board. The inverse is also true, where if you're disingenuous with things, and you're dishonest with yourself,
Right.
you could put yourself into pretty precarious situations, and that's, I think, the situation so many of us find ourselves in, where we're this person where we look in the mirror and we don't recognize ourselves anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you or I are capable of being disingenuous. I mean, I feel like I wear my emotions on my sleeve, so you can see it in my face very clearly. But I don't know. I wouldn't want to be around anyone who's disingenuous. I was having this conversation the other day, yesterday, about, being disingenuous to self, right? Morals and values are important. They're like, if you had kids and you need to, and Philip Morris came up to you and was like, will you take this marketing money and push our product? I'm like, no. People are like, well, if you got kids that were hungry, you'd do it. I'm like, I like to think I would not still, pushing death to feed a kid. I mean, I'd find another means to feeding my kids,
Yeah. I mean, I think we're in a, as an entrepreneur, you're kind of in a luxurious position to be able to do that, right? Because, a lot of people have to, most people are right now in jobs and are succumbing to that very same, the opposite of what you just said.
Right.
Where you would say no, they have to say yes.
Right.
Because that's the system that we're in. Because, we're beholden to the expectations that we have in our lives, the things that we buy, the things that we want, all this sort of stuff. And we'll, for many of us, we'll do anything for it. And
Right.
for that means working at fucking, these terrible companies that
Right.
they fire people every single year.
Yeah.
Super high turnover rates, mismanagement of money, horrible products, but they push it anyway because it's what they have to do.
Right. It's unfortunate.
So, and it just sucks that a lot of people have to work for people like that.
Well, let's talk more about your Dare City, because we went off on a tangent, but
Yeah.
let's talk about that.
Yeah, so it's a mobile app. Right now it's just in its beta phase, so I haven't released it to the general public. It's it's very much a if you know type of thing. Most of the work that I do now is with public schools here in New York. So when I got laid off for the final time, I did two things that day. I opened my Upwork account to hire a developer because I'm non-technical, and then I applied for my teaching license because I knew that if there's any audience that this app was for, it was kids.
Okay.
And that's reaffirmed itself time and time again because it's always a hard sell when I'm pushing Dare City to a culture building event at a company, right? But for schools, it makes complete sense, and for the kids, they're down to play it.
Yeah.
At least to give it a chance to see if it's fun. Also, kids are the harshest critics ever. So I knew that if I was going to get real feedback, it would be from them, and if the shit is good or not.
Yeah.
So what I do now is I do custom programming for public schools that answered the problem that a lot of them are having, not only in New York City but across this country, of literacy rates are lower than ever. Homework is something that is not mandatory at a lot of schools. They don't have it. After school budgets are inflated with pretty much organizations that are just preying on the opportunity of the fact that there is a budget allocated to this school every single year, and we're going to grab as much of that budget as we possibly can. It has nothing to do with the kids adding value. In fact, they don't have I would be shocked. I mean, with the many that I've run across, none of them have statistics to back up anything that they're doing. It's just something that they're doing. Hey, we have Wednesdays, these wacky Wednesdays or whatever the fuck, and they literally have people come in and guest speak about what they do and stuff like that. But it has nothing to do with the kids. It's just oh, I know this guy who works at who works at Meta. And that's interesting for kids, right? No, actually, kids fucking hate Meta. The only social media that they really like is TikTok and Snap. I think they try to do things that they think are good for kids rather than what I try to do, which is I get to know them on a
Yeah.
personal level. I understand who they are at this stage of their life. I also iterate to them that like this is not who you will be for even next year. Like
Right.
you're constantly changing. And all I do is just help them like identify what they want to try now and hold them accountable to doing that thing.
Right.
And so the cool thing about Dare City is every dare has within it character traits,
Right.
right? So stand-up comedy, good example. Takes courage, sure, but it also takes good communication skills. It takes a lot of creativity to like formulate a joke. I know it like a lot of people. It's either like, oh, I would never do that, or like, oh yeah, I could fucking tell a joke. Like it's one of those. So a lot of people think that they could do it, but it does take a lot of creativity. And so if like you say there is a dare called open mic, which there is on Dare City, you do the dare, you record yourself or take a picture just to prove that you did it. You could also write a written response and you submit it, and then those points are distributed to your profile. So you get like a real sense of who you actually are. It's not like these Myers-Briggs texts.
Ugh, I hate those.
Which don't actually have any value in my opinion, because I've taken those tests so many times, and I'm like, oh man, I'm a QAJ, whatever I am, you know. And in reality, I'm whatever I'm saying I am.
Exactly.
Which is not me.
Right.
I'm always fronting.
Yeah.
If there's one thing you know about me, I'm fronting on all fronts, you know?
He's definitely full of shit.
Yeah, I'm full of shit, dude. So it's like, I can't believe the shit that I'm spewing all the time. Like, why would I, if you just package it in like a, in a psychology packet,
Right.
it doesn't make it any less false,
Right.
right? So what Dare City does is like, if you do it, now that's a real data point, because there's action behind that. And to visualize that helps people,
Yeah.
and rewards them for taking these little steps.
All right, so we learned about your app, which is great. I think for kids it's great. Eventually adults will benefit, because Dare is nostalgic, right? It's play, involves kind of similar why there's a lot of cohesiveness between Dare and Outsiders.
Yeah.
So you also, one of the things I want to ask you is, you've got your comedy, you got Dare, we work together. What's your community? Where do you feel like you belong right now? Like, when do you feel the most sense of belonging?
I'm alone.
I know.
I would say that like I feel like I belong the most when I could be myself, and fortunately, like I've done a lot of work on myself to be able to belong in a lot of different spaces.
Yeah.
Which is a blessing, right? It's not always the case for people with the type of person that they are, and their personality and gifts that I never earned. Just stuff that I woke up with.
Right.
But I would say I love people who I love being around people who see the world differently, and not only see it differently, but like do things about it, right? That like actually put their stamp on whatever it is that they want to do. So like, that could be, someone like my partner, right? Who wants to put her stamp in real estate.
Yeah.
And change an industry that for a long time has been pretty self-serving. It's not about the customer. It's not about the person looking for the property or the person selling. It's about how much money I as an agent can make from the deal. I have friends who are like, they left they're entrepreneurs as well. I have friends who are still in their 9-to-5 grind, but what they do outside of their job, whether it's volunteering or whether it's creating their own side hustles or have any sort of passionate or project that they're passionate about, that's what I'm interested in. I think if there's a word to describe the community that I want to be a part of, it's passion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my goal is to be driven by passion, because when I'm not afraid, driven by fear sucks.
Yeah.
It makes you do rash moves and not be strategic, and honestly do things driven for money or whatever fear you have, right?
Yeah.
But being around people who think differently is great. I've recently met a couple entrepreneurs who I love being in their presence because they think differently and they're finding tremendous success in it, and what they're doing is incredible. And there's not even industries that I'm really interested in either. It's just, I never want to be around people who conform, who are happy to conform. Always question, in my opinion. Always be around that. I mean, there's some people who conform that I'm happy to be around. I'm not so judgmental, right? But I mean, I get recharged by being around forward thinkers.
Yeah, I mean, that's what a community's for, right? Is to recharge you. I mean, you can still be around a lot of people and they drain your energy. That's not a community, right? So I think that like what you're saying as far as like passion is, if you have passion for something, it's infectious. And I think that's something that could be, that's a powerful foundation for any community, and it can span, the gambit. It could be a community for entrepreneurs and work and people in their work life. It could be you're passionate about baseball, like I am, right? Like I'm super passionate about the Dodgers.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Congrats.
Congratulations, he said.
Yeah.
Say what I want you to say.
What?
Say let's go Dodgers.
Oh, let's go Dodgers. Cool.
Back
I'm not a baseball fan.
Doesn't
I
matter.
care less.
Doesn't matter because
less.
guess what? You're a fan or not, they still won back to back.
Whatever. Well, that's other than your goal for the Dodgers to win. What do you see your goals being personally and professionally right now?
Well, one goal that I have personally is to be a constant learner. Like,
I see that.
Yeah. I don't ever want to. I think that's why our political climate right now is so upsetting to me, because I love talking to people who have different views. But the problem is when I ask them a question, they're so used to like that being like, oh, I'm trying to get you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm genuinely not, because like, big secret here. I don't know if this, I'm dropping like a huge. No one knows what the fuck they're doing. You know what I mean? This is all our first go around at life. Unless you're a Hindu, then you've got multiple goes at this, or maybe you're a frog. I don't know. But like, we have this like we hold so tightly to like what we believe in, right? Instead of like trying to do everything we can to poke holes in what we believe in. I've always been that like. I actually used to be kind of like a dick about this kind of stuff. I used to be like a know-it-all, right? Because I would be this learner, and I'd know a lot of information, and I'd use that to weaponize against other people.
Right.
And obviously that lost me a lot of friends, and even if they wouldn't say that, they would probably still consider me a friend. Maybe like I've never had a falling out with a friend or anything like that. But I will say that like most of them probably just distanced themselves from me because of who I was.
So I have a friend of mine who I respect greatly. He's a good friend of mine, but he loves to debate and get his opinion pushed onto the other person. Yeah. I know how he is. So when he starts getting in this mode, I either tune him out or I check him. Yeah. And it's unfortunate because he's a great dude. But yeah, it's not really pleasant to be around sometimes. Yeah. So I'm glad you realize that about yourself, because otherwise everyone's going to distance themselves from you. Yeah. I try not to... And if ever I'm that way, I hope someone tells me that I'm like trying to push. But I feel like I do my best to be very self-aware. And if ever there's a moment I'm not, please let me know. Yeah. I think self-awareness is probably like the most underrated quality that you can have in a person. So your goals and dreams, back to that. Actually, do you want to hold off on that? Want to reset? Yeah, that's not very good. All right, your goals and dreams, you get to follow through with that question. What are your real goals and dreams? Not being a loner. Yeah, my goal is to be I have it on my phone. It's to be a good man, number one, or a good person in general, right? Because you never know. Right, could switch in any. Should I stop? We're not going down that road, but go ahead. I want to be a good writer. Okay. A good comic, right? Yeah. I would love to have my own special one day, but I don't want it. I don't want to make a career
off of. I really don't want to make money doing comedy. I don't think I'm good enough, but I'd love to have something that like I'm really proud of, where it's like a cohesive work that maybe could impact people.
Right.
I want to be a good a traveler, like a world traveler, so I can experience different cultures and not just see this stuff from a distance, like I have my entire life. I've been obsessed with travel shows and the world in general and how people think so differently.
I feel really fortunate to have traveled the amount I've traveled so far, and by no means am I done, but it definitely gives you a crazy different perspective.
Yeah.
It makes you understand different people's perspectives because they grew up in a different environment, and different environments create different thought processes.
Yeah.
So it's great. It's like, for me, I definitely don't do as much research as you do or dig into certain topics the way you do, but I like to get information through conversations with people.
Yeah.
And that's how I like to get mine, and the storytelling, and this is why I love doing this. Getting your perspective, learning about you makes me understand the world a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great, I think you learn more from people than books.
Yeah.
And books are nothing more than just people's thoughts.
Written down, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then the final one is just to be a good business owner. I mean, I told you earlier about how I've been a part of companies who put their business and their brand over the customers that they serve. I've been in companies that treat their people like tools,
Yeah.
rather than people themselves. And I want to create businesses, and I have created one that's successful, that has employed people and has given them opportunity that I've never seen a dime of. And with Dare City, I want that to be a thing that helps people unlock the same thing that I feel like I unlocked that helped me.
Right.
Even if it's not in the exact same way, I do think that a dare itself is something that we can all benefit from.
Yeah.
And so,
well, what we're talking about here is getting someone out of the comfort zone, and that's the biggest way you expand your views and improve your life.
yeah,
Instead of being stagnant and comfortable, experiencing new experiences that might be intimidating is the best way to do it.
yeah, you got to chase discomfort.
Yes.
It's like,
I try to do something hard every day.
yeah,
I mean, I don't write down what am I going to do hard today, but if there's something
Pause.
I'm like, thanks. This guy's but I always
got him.
I always want to be. I never want to succumb to fear. Like, I always want to be able to face it, whatever that it is, and win. As my competitive spirit, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, that's something that, like, in the short time that we've been working together, that's why I'm working with you. I don't work with people who I don't feel are able to take criticism, number one.
Yeah.
But to your point, I don't want to work with someone who's content with how things are, or if there is if they have a plan for the future, and that plan is everything that they've been doing in the past and just leaning on their laurels and trying to figure out.
You came in a perfect time, brother.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You have to change. You have to change everything, and businesses are just like people.
Yeah.
They're infinitely complex, and there's no one way of doing things, and you have to constantly evolve in order to.
For sure.
To stay relevant, and to stay effective.
It's scary, for sure. Like, changing your routine, especially because as an entrepreneur, you need to create a routine by certain means in order to be efficient, right?
Yeah.
But that routine can't stay the same. So part of your routine is to be continuously changing as well. It's a really messed up dynamic, but that's the way it is,
Yeah. Yeah, I think entrepreneurs themselves are which, by the way, like most entrepreneurs shouldn't be entrepreneurs. I'm just gonna say that right now.
But saying that, there's always the self-doubt, like maybe I'm one of those. But I've been an entrepreneur my whole adult life.
Yeah, no, you're definitely not, because you're not doing it for the label of an entrepreneur. Like, I take no pride in
I identify.
Yeah.
I do identify. It's part of my identity for sure. But I'm not trying to be like, listen, I recently changed the Instagram bio to say founder and CEO. It didn't say that before. It just said outsiders. Why did I change it? Because now I think when people look at it, it might bring me more business opportunities because I'm trying to work on my own brand, which is why I said it.
Yeah.
But I hate saying it sometimes. I don't announce that I'm the founder of Outsiders. I'm at the Outsiders event.
Yeah.
I like surprising them with that. When they find out, they're like, this girl the other day wrote to me after one of the hikes I was leading, and she was like, I think I posted something or a video of us that's clearly was me being the founder. And she was like, I just found out you're not just a hiking guide.
Yeah.
It's like, cool.
Well, I think that attests to like, that's proof, right, that you are an entrepreneur. Because like a founder, a CEO, you know, those are just other terms for entrepreneur. Like you have to be a self-starter.
Yeah.
And so, like, what's proof in your story that you are where you're meant to be is the fact that no one knows that you're the founder until you tell them.
Right.
And it's because you're doing all the little things that founders typically don't do, like entrepreneurs wouldn't do, because they wouldn't be caught dead doing it.
It's funny that you say that because I saw a couple like Instagram memes where it shows boss, like, you know, there's his employees pulling a chariot and he's like whipping them, and then there's the leader who's pulling, the first one to pull the chariot with his other employees or team members, and I don't like saying employees, I like to say team members, pulling along with him.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, like, you know, the licensed guide situation and the wilderness first aid. I didn't have to do that. And part of me was like, I shouldn't do that because then it'll take away from, like, you know what, I'm going to do it with them so we can be doing this together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, I'm happy to have it. And then also it opens opportunity if anyone has no shows, there's no choice, then I guess I could fill in now, right? But that's not the purpose why I did it.
Yeah, I mean, there's many instances like the book club that you started, right?
Yeah.
That was.
But you started it.
Well, I mean, you told me to. You said we should do a book club, and then you didn't do the book club. so I was like, oh, and I just reminded you, hey, are we gonna do that book club?
Yeah.
And you know, so we read a book, and now it's something that's, you know, your whole team is learning from and is making Outsiders a far better company than it is, and it's a great company now, but it's making it far better.
Yeah. I mean,
and your customers are gonna feel that.
A clear. I don't want to go down this path because we still want to talk about it, but the clear vision is like our fall programming, our winter programming is showing that right now. But this is about you, and you're a huge part of Outsiders now because you're helping us pivot. You know, a lot of this pivoting is me asking you, like, what should we do? And you're taking the lead, and then us implementing it to what I think is good. Like, you know, there's certain things where I want to do it a certain way as well, but like, I love the direction we're going, and I love that, and I hope that we get to the point where we're rocking in all these cities we're in, and then Dare City follows and is an amazing tool for us, but we're an amazing tool for
certainly.
Dare City.
Yeah, there's definitely, I definitely see that sooner rather than later, like actually very soon, because you're not far off. Like there's none of my strategies. Like I always tell this to my marketing company is called Just. It's a consulting agency.
What's it called?
Just.
Yeah.
And the reason I called it that, it's like Just. You got a U is blue in the middle, and there's a.
We like blue.
Yeah, you do. You love blue.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, this guy in the damn Dodgers. How about the Mets, the Knicks, the Yankees?
Losers. A lot of losers you just listed, unfortunately.
I believe you're a Dallas Cowboys fan too.
Oh, the biggest losers. That's how I know.
Exactly.
That's how I know, because we're the biggest of all.
Yeah.
No, but I think like the thing that I always like I wanted to communicate with Just is to realize for me to take the veil off of these consulting agencies, these marketing agencies that like say, oh, if you do this X, Y, and Z strategy, if you tweak this, like that's what's really, you know, causing your growth. It's not. A great business is the story underneath it, and maybe a founder loses their way because they've been doing this for so long and they forgot the story.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe they hadn't even thought about that in the first place. A lot of people literally just hit off of a really good idea, like something that's popular, that's needed, but there's nothing there. And then when they hit turbulent waters, you know, it's a struggle. So, the thing that I always like communicate with Just is to realize, for me to take the veil off of these consulting agencies, these marketing agencies that like say, oh, if you do this X, Y, and Z strategy, if you tweak this, like that's what's really, you know, causing your growth. It's not. So the U is highlighted in my logo because that's the underpinning of everything. And that's what I try to do, is just identify what that is.
I had a conversation yesterday with a friend of mine. She said some of the retreats, she works with retreats, the most successful ones are ones very, very specific about what the groups are doing. Not just intention, but like, this is a group for this.
Yep.
And for us, there's the wellness, there's activity, all that. But for me, what I wanted this for, I wanted to have fun, nostalgic fun, and ways for people to have fun together. That's the baseline for me. Really connecting. And my history of nightlife was just basically taking that and making the fun no longer in nightclubs and consuming, but active together. That's what I want.
Yeah, something that gives back.
Yeah.
Like fun that gives back.
Exactly. Fun that gives back. Yes.
And you want to put that on a t-shirt?
On the back of your t-shirt. I know we're gone over some time, but is there anything you want to share? I mean, you've been, like I said, you've been eye-opening for me in this period of our business. Anything that you want to share about outsiders or yourself while we have this platform?
The only thing is the same thing that we've kind of we talked about already, but I just want to like address you. I almost made a joke about Chris being behind the camera there, but I'm not going to. Don't worry, Chris.
Chris does have a mic now, so she has a mic. You have to get another mic for yourself, by the way. I know you have 4.
I don't go off on a tangent, but would I be able to get you do this shit? Can I pair another Rode mic with this thing? No, right?
If there's only 2, then no.
Yeah.
It would have to be like a.
Maybe I could find one like lavaliers that have a third or even 4 mics.
Gotcha.
Because is this connected to that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So the one thing that I want to leave you all with, I guess, is just like what we've been talking about this whole time. Just whatever it is, like, be honest with yourself, like right now, like genuinely, like once you finish watching this interview, don't turn on anything else. Don't touch your phone. Don't watch anything. Don't leave. Just sit alone and just ask yourself, what am I afraid of? And it doesn't have to be a big fear. It doesn't have to be something massive. In fact, I would discourage you from approaching those things because they are real, right? I'm not trying to diminish what fear is. It's there for a reason, and it could be because of your upbringing. It could be because of some situations that you've been in that have been, less than ideal. But sit with those things for a second. Be truly honest with yourself, and then once you know what those things are, write them down. And then once you look at them, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today that could make that can make that fear a little bit smaller, a little bit more manageable, right? What's just one small act? And it might seem insignificant. It might just be, going for a walk because you're afraid of how you look and you're struggling with dating. It might be, you're afraid of what happens if you lose your job, right? And you're putting too much pressure on your career. Just do one thing. Dare yourself to do one thing that will challenge you to meet that fear head on. Don't avoid it. It's so easy to, and we have tons of ways to do it. I myself do it all the time. I'm not perfect, but just try to sit with it. Try to see it for what it is. Try to accept it, and do one thing every day. And pretty soon you'll start stacking and stacking and stacking, and you'll look at yourself in the mirror and you won't really recognize yourself. You'll see the person that you've always wanted to be, the person you were destined to be.
Yeah. A great basic example of that is going to the gym.
Facts.
I remember being a skinny teenager and thinking to myself, like, I was like this. I remember this guy telling, he was like in his late 20s, was saying, all you gotta do is go to the gym, just make it a routine. Just go do a little bit every day, and you'll see in 5 years you'll have muscle. You won't be the skinny thing. I'm like, whatever, I need to get, it was right, like continuous, always doing a little bit, eventually it's compounding, and that's anything in life.
Yeah. And
there's a quote, one of my favorite quotes. I'll leave us off with this quote, okay?
Yeah.
Let me find it real quick, but it's by, I believe it's Theodore Roosevelt. Let me see it. Yeah, no, actually, it's Gordon Livingston. Gordon Livingston. It's when we think about the things that alter our lives in a moment, nearly all of them are bad. Phone calls in the night, accidents, loss of jobs or loved ones, conversations with the doctors bearing awful news. In fact, apart from a last-second touchdown, a visitation, unexpected inheritance, winning the lottery, or a visitation from God, it's hard to imagine sudden good news. Virtually all the happiness-producing processes in our lives take time, usually a long time. Learning new things, changing old behaviors, building satisfying relationships, raising children. This is why patience and determination are among life's primary virtues. So whenever I feel impatient, I need a little reminding, I read that quote, and it all kind of falls into place.
Shout out to Gordon, man.
Yeah.
You didn't even need me here. You could have just read that quote.
I could have. Anyway,
Generally.
on that note, thank you, dude. I appreciate all we are doing with Outsiders right now, everything you're doing for me, and I really look forward to a lot of business ventures with you.
Yeah, man. Of course. Thanks for having me. This is sick.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
As usual.
Thanks, Chris.
Stay tuned.
Chris!
Awesome.